Rocky Flats was one of the most important factories in the United States nuclear weapons complex. It was announced in 1951 and was really part of the expansion of nuclear weapons after a decision by the President and Congress that nuclear weapons were going to be part of this nation's defense. Its location was chosen was very contradictory in a couple of ways, because on the one hand it was regarded in the documents as, quote, isolated, because it's sitting up on a mesa and seems to be a little bit distant from Denver. At the same time, it was 16 miles from downtown Denver.
They wanted it to be within 25 miles, between 5 and 25 miles of a populous area, so that they could draw enough workers and people, and they wanted it near an area that had good educational background so that they could get educated workers. There was a lot of little criteria.
Rocky Flats represented jobs, it represented money, and the senators were quite interested in having that come to Colorado. It was a complex that had more than 800 buildings, and in the actual plutonium production areas, there was almost a factory within a factory of glove boxes. So workers would work in stainless steel. They would stand outside, the glove box lines, snake through the buildings. They were enclosed so that workers wouldn't get contaminated by the plutonium.
You have to understand the secrecy of Rocky Flats. The rumor mill inside the plant was as great as it was outside, because if I were working in a glove box handling plutonium or a certain part of the process, when I finished what I was doing and I passed it on down the conveyor line to the next person, I could not know what the next person did to it. That's how tight the security was.
One of the main legacies from Rocky Flats are that the plutonium bombs manufactured at Rocky Flats are still in 99.99% of the U.S. nuclear weapons, which now is around 7,000 nuclear weapons. So Rocky Flats continues to live on, in the bombs. One of the other legacies, of course, is the sickened workers. Another legacy is the environment, which there are plenty of debates about how contaminated and what should be done. And then there's also the community itself.